I woke to silence, the kind that presses against your chest and refuses to leave. It was 3 a.m. My house was still. My wife's whisper reached me like a sharp blade. "He's sleeping at Mom's." Something in her tone froze me. I know my child. I know my home. The bed was empty. I didn't argue. I drove. The streetlights flickered as I approached her mother's house. Windows dark, no hum of life inside. Nothing but shadows. My pulse slowed to a controlled rhythm. I couldn't make a mistake. I circled to the backyard. The lock yielded to pressure. Silent, calculated. And then I saw him, my son, small and trembling, standing in a hole dug too deep, the edges jagged. His hands were dirty. He had tears streaking his face. My mother-in-law emerged from the darkness, eyes sharp, voice low. "You weren't supposed to come." I knelt beside my boy. His voice cracked. "Daddy, she made me dig another hole. Please, don't look inside there." The world narrowed to that moment. I leaned closer. The second hole. I couldn't stop myself. My blood ran cold. Before I detailed that, I need to go back. I loved her once, loved her like the air I breathed. Years together, endless promises, laughter in quiet rooms, shared dreams that felt unbreakable. My son's first steps, first words, all woven into a life I thought was solid. But betrayal isn't loud. It whispers. It hides behind smiles and dinner tables. I started noticing the cracks, late-night calls, unexplained absences, subtle changes in behavior. I doubted myself first. I always doubt myself first. But when your gut claws at you relentlessly, you start looking for truth. I watched, quietly, methodically. Every pattern she thought hidden became clear under my eyes. Records, receipts, conversations, tiny inconsistencies formed a map. And when I discovered her plan for my son, for control, for something I still can't fully name without tasting bile, I knew I had to move carefully. One misstep would destroy everything. I planned, not recklessly, not in a rage. Surveillance, conversations recorded, messages archived. I didn't confront, I observed. Every action, every lie documented. I set traps without showing my hand. And then came the moment where I could strike. It started small, legal pressure, subtle manipulations of her environment, ensuring she couldn't cover her tracks. I guided her into situations where her lies became undeniable. Friends and family saw the cracks. She couldn't rewrite reality. My son's safety became the spearhead of my strategy. The final stage, the confrontation she never expected. I arrived at her mother's house that night, driven by instinct and a silent calculation that this time I wouldn't fail. The backyard was quiet except for the sound of dirt shifting. "Daddy, don't look inside." His voice nearly broke me, but I had to. The second hole revealed her cruelty. Objects buried, small reminders of manipulation, threats, evidence she thought I'd never find. But the worst was not the objects, it was the intent, the sheer weight of what she had planned for him. I had the proof, tangible and horrifying, and it changed everything. She tried to explain, tried to soften her voice, but the power had shifted. Calmly, I called the authorities, letting the full weight of her actions land on her. Friends, family, everyone who had doubted me now saw the truth. My son was safe. I was the architect of her exposure, silent until the moment that counted. And yet, in the aftermath, I felt nothing of triumph in a traditional sense. I felt control restored, safety reclaimed, justice delivered through patience and intelligence. No yelling, no physical confrontation, just calculated, cold, unshakable strategy. I held my son close, feeling the weight of his trembling, the innocence that had been endangered. His tears soaked my shirt. He asked questions I couldn't answer yet. I just held him tighter. The night, the holes, the lies, they all faded when I realized the truth. My presence alone, my vigilance, had saved him. I walked away that night with one lesson burned into me. Betrayal can be insidious, but patience and intelligence are sharper than rage. Revenge doesn't have to scream, it can whisper, quietly unraveling the architecture of deceit. I never spoke of what I saw in the second hole, not fully. Some things are too cold, too heavy to articulate, but I carry it with me as proof that silence, strategy, and resolve can protect what matters most. And as for her, she has nothing left but the consequences of her actions. I didn't revel in her downfall, I merely ensured it. My son sleeps soundly now, and I sleep knowing justice was served quietly, intelligently, irreversibly.